Hello, everybody. Welcome to Trader Minute. Great to have you on board. And we're going to go out and make a trade here for the challenge. Mike, we're going to make a trade right now. Um, Been looking at a lot of stocks today. There's a lot of good signals out there. And look at the market. Yeah, nice little reversal. We talked about the buy the dippers and stuff like that. Not a full reversal. We're not back above the 7, but still this market just bullish in nature. So, stock we're going to be making a trade on here is Win. It's been rallying all day. This is a beautiful bull vibe signal. Um, there's a lot of ways to look at this. Got a nice challenge channel right here, breaking out of the challenge. The volumes are decent today. Looks to push towards the 170 mark. You're right, Jay Woods. We're going to go with Win. Okay. So what we're going to buy here, we're going to buy 4 contracts, which is the remaining, pretty much the remaining money we have in the challenge account. December, the 167 calls. I'm just going to confirm that and get that out there so I can get the emails out. We got filled at 448. So bear with me for just a second. As I get these out, and we'll go talk about it a little bit more. Sorry if it's quiet. I'm just double checking what I got going here as this comes out to you guys. Do you want to put it in the message box? Thanks. Oh, you probably heard me. Thought I had that on mute. Yeah, it'll be in the message box here shortly, and you should be getting these emails and texts here within a matter of a minute or two. Okay, so you heard that signal. That's my email coming through, and there'll be another one here shortly with text. Okay, so it's a beautiful vibe bull signal. It's been channeling up here in this range between 167, 165. Well, you could even go higher than 160. You go 166, 167. It's been channeling. Based on that price pattern right there, the breakout could be above 170 here, but the price target is going to be about 170. The stop's going to be on the 7-day moving average. Okay, we're going to be pretty tight. There's my text message. So I got both of them, and I would think you're getting them too. This trade is for the challenge, Holly. Thank you. JC, I'm standing on my head. I got this pounding headache, and I've been standing on my head all day. So yeah, I'm rubbing my belly too. Okay, so good, good. I mean, it's good to hear people getting in at some good prices. So yeah, this looks to run up towards the 170 area. Thanks, JC. It's been a while since we talked about that. Gotta love it. All right, so yeah, we just made a trader for the challenge. It's going to pop up there in the message center as well, and the challenge is off again. Now, there's a few comments been coming in the challenge. We're 0 and 3. Yeah, we're down to about 1,800 in the account. You guys, the first time, Jeff is the guy that's done this. Done it twice. You can look at the results, see what he's done. And a lot of people think you have to be ultra aggressive in the challenge. Not necessarily. The way that you set up the trades, the way you can control the trades like this, you don't necessarily have to be aggressive. Once you get the ball rolling, getting to the initial 6 is the hardest part. Once you get the ball rolling, you just trade larger and larger amounts, you hit the same type of trades, and the account's going to grow much faster. Yeah, Max, you notice it's off way below the 7 where it's run like that. We're going to put a stop here in the 7. So you're looking at the 7, it's a fairly decent stop. It's had a nice rally today. The whole group's had a nice run today. This is a nice breakout for all the gaming stocks today. I mean, the Wins, the Las Vegas Sands, the MGMs, they've all done really well today. We went December's. on JC. We did the December monthlies, right? And I don't think there's a weekly in there, but we went to December's. Make sure in your December's, the December options, 167s right here. December 13, the 167s. Joe, so double check it, but that's what we got here. Okay, yeah, 21st of December, that's going to be a Saturday, yeah. Okay, thanks, Steve. Okay, so that's where we went with win. We're expecting this to go up towards the 170 mark, and it could go past that, but that's going to be the price target. Okay, good job, Richard. Cool. Oh, okay. Yeah, there you go, Joe. Okay, so the challenge. I was mentioning the challenge, and the first challenge, I was watching Jeff. I was watching him. I heard he was going to do this challenge, and he's the best investor. If you've known me in the past, you've always heard me talk about Jeff as the best investor that I personally know. Things he can do to me. When I saw him take on this challenge, I thought, "Holy cow, is he going to do this?" And I saw it drop to 100. I mean, not 150, $1,500, and I thought, "Man, that guy's got a tough row to hoe." The next thing I know, he's up at 6,000, and he hit 100,000 in 4 months. The guy who challenged him to do it said, "I'll give you 6 months to do it." He did it in 4, and so after that, they kept taking the challenges and putting in 4 months time frames rather than a year, and he's done it. Now, it doesn't have to be ultra aggressive. Again, the way we set the trades up, near-term options, you hit some decent trades. We hit 1 or 2 winners here in a row. It's going to erase any of these losses in a quick hurry. And those of you around for the March, I know Steve was there, the March challenge, you know exactly what we're talking about. Once we got up around the $6,000 range, my account hit 12 on a day, but we reached the $11,000 range not long after that. It doesn't take long once you get that ball rolling. Right. Yeah, I saw Jeff always says it went up to 10, but I'm always saying, Jeff, mine hit 12. He always says it's 10, but it doesn't take long. But you just need to get some winning trades. Again, that first double is the hardest one to get. So, we're still in the game, and we're still in a time frame where we could hit the 100,000. So, yeah, there was a lot of good memories on that first challenge. You get the wins under your belt, so you could play with a lot of profits. Then you can start to do some fun trades, and you're still controlling the risk by buying less. But we did a fun trade on CLF. It was we did weekly options. I don't remember the exact days. Like on a Wednesday, we did weekly options. They were overpriced, and it was on CLF. It was an all or nothing trade. You're right, Robert. It was an all or nothing trade, but we control the risk by buying less. Right? That's how we control the risk on it. And I have to go back here just to bring it in. But what Jeff had noticed, he's the one that you notice how the major downtrend that CLF was in back there. Okay, big time downtrend. That's hardly showing up. Let me go here. You can see the big time downtrend that CLF was experiencing at the time, and they had missed earnings 4 quarters in a row. The short interest, so the percentage of shares that were being shorted at the time was over 30%, 35% or something like that, even more. And so it's just a gamble. It was a gamble. The options expired on Friday. We did the trade like on a Wednesday, weekly options, and it was all or nothing. We put $1,000 into it, and we were just hoping that we'd get a giant short squeeze. And sure enough, they announced a little bit better than expected earnings. The shorts jumped out big time. We jumped out with a triple on it. I know some stayed in a little bit longer than we did. Some did a quadruple, but it was a fun little trade. And if we ever do these trades, we got to do them with profits. You got to do them with profits. You can't start out any type of a trade like this and that first, getting up to the first 6, or even once we hit about the 10 mark. That's where we'll look to maybe do some of these more aggressive type trades. RD, we did the December monthly options. It would say December 21st is what it would say on there. If you're not using Thinkorswim, it's just December's. Okay, good. Good SoCal. I like to say that. That's fun. SoCal. Great place. I love it. Yes. Profit estimate 30%. No, we're looking for that would be about the risk in the trade. Profit, we're looking over 90% on this trade. Okay, and we're putting about the remainder of the account. Now, doing this, we're anything starts to go wrong initially, we're not going to hang around. We're not hanging around for it. This is going to be one of those we got to keep any type of a loss very as limited as we can at this point. So we won't let this run if it starts going against us very long at all. Okay. Sorry, just reading through. Jersey, great question. I did a little bit of a training on this yesterday. If you go into there's a couple places you could go. We use a little options calculator, and what we do is put in the price target and estimate out how much the options will be worth at that point if it hits the price target, and then we also will take the stop and estimate about how much the options will be worth if it hits our stop. Okay, I did a little bit of training on it yesterday during it'd be the lunch training on that. It's the options calculator. If you look in the video library for yesterday. Okay, yeah, you can. It's in the video there. Thanks, Darren. And then also there's a full trade, a much longer training in the options education week. And if I just click on that and I'll go there, let me just find the name of it for you real quick. Pricing options, determining risk and reward. Jeff did that one. You got a very in-depth training. I just hit the very high level how to use that yesterday on the training, just very quick. But if you want to get a little bit more in depth on it, you're right, Wick. They were talking about that today. The buy the dip crowd's still there. Now, don't get me talking, but I think no, I won't go there. Yeah, look at this market. It's pretty much flat right now. Pretty amazing. Nice, Wick. I like it. Oh, nice. It's a good start to see to win, going up on us. Oh, good, Craig. Nice. Okay. Yeah, Slavic. The price the target on this. Let me go back to the chart here. And it's been rallying right in the close. When I first saw it, first thing I'm going to do in the trade, I've been discussing it with Jeff. It was literally just going above the highs from last week and Monday, just barely going above that. And in that time frame, it's still going. Very good sign to see these rallying at the close like this. Price target, we're looking at 170. About 250 above where we're getting in here as far as the stock price. We're looking at 170 on that. That's going to be the initial target. It hits it, we're going to jump out. Okay, if it blows through it on a day, same thing. We might just pop right on out. We're not going to fool around. So, okay. Thanks, Craig. Walmart. We can start looking at some stocks. Any more questions on the entry today? Just let me know. Big, wild, volatile day here on Walmart. So the bulls try to take it higher. The bears try to take it lower. It's going to wind up probably on the 7. Real volatile day. If this closes above, right up there at 80.50, right up there above the 7, man, I'd stay in. If I had calls, I wouldn't enter a trade here on a calls. But this, to me, this looks like more consolidation. Looks to run higher, but man, that's a volatile day. I'd check to see. I haven't looked at this, checked on the news, but I've just been slammed here with work, and I love it. I love my job, but I have not been able to dig much into any type of news around there. It just might be some really, yeah. Watch Walmart. If it closes up here, if it closes decisively, it looks like it's going to close decisively below the 7. and I might get a little bit antsy, but if it closes up in this range, I'd still hang on. But if it looks tomorrow to run below the 7, then I'd probably just get out and take it. Cheniere Energy, this is still a bullish move. Still bullish. It's slowly creeping up there to the 42 mark. It's pulling off it a little bit, but still it's creeping higher up to that level. The volumes were high going in. Today's were really, really light, but overall, if I was in a trade here, I'd watch it. I don't think I'd exit right here if I was in calls. If it starts to drop below 41, I'd be more willing to take it off. Let's look at Best Buy Beyond. Yeah. This was one of my top 2 from yesterday, right? Vibe entry yesterday, pushing up again today. Just keep going. Watch it up to about the 44 mark. That's where I'd watch it to. Not that it can't break 44, but if I got a nice profit in there, I wouldn't be adverse just to taking it off. It hit it pretty hard last time, but and then BMY. I'm interested to check BMY again. I haven't looked at it. After everything that happened today with with the market and this running up, pulling back to finish up 12 cents is nothing. The downside is still here. If I looked at the bring in the Bollinger Bands, it's closing inside the band, but overall, this is one of those deals with that big action today. A lot of these wicks higher up like that. It is closing inside the band. If that's your stop, that or the 7. At this point, I'd give it the 7. If it looks to run up off of 51 tomorrow, I'd probably exit. But right now, I'd keep my stop on the 7. I believe the stop was on the 7 or it closed inside the band. Now, this is just taken off. So at this point, I'd keep the stop on the 7. You wouldn't be risking much more at that point. Let's go look at IBM. This is almost just, was I just looking at IBM? Almost the exact same thing. Up to 18 cents, about the exact same thing with IBM. What this was from a few days ago, I remember exactly. My notes aren't right in front of me. Anyways, this doesn't change anything as far as bullish. There's no bullish action here. This is more bearish than anything. It's closing at the lows of yesterday. So I don't see any bullish action there on IBM. I think I'm way behind on chats. I apologize. With Yahoo, man, beautiful breakout. Watch it up to the $40 level. I would go 2 in the money Decembers. 2 in the money Decembers. Now, one thing I got to point out is on Walgreens, Decembers is December 21st. Okay, so you're going to want to make sure you're out by December 21st on Walgreens, but this is still a good looking setup. Remember, it might consolidate a little bit since it's a little ways away from the 7, but overall, this is pretty strong bearish action, which is likely to take this lower. But remember, options December 21st, I'm sorry, to the 20th, which I believe is a Friday, the Friday of expiration. Nice trade, Hound. Hey, I don't care if it's a modest profit. I don't care if it's a gigantic profit. If you made a profit, pat yourself on the back, move on. Look for the next entrance. Silver. Gold and silver seen a little bit of, they're up today, right? A one tick higher like this, 1 day higher, it's on some good volumes, but after that downtrend, I don't trust one single run up like this. You've heard me say it. I'd like to see how the first sell-off happens. This is really just coming up to the last level of support for it and kind of stalling right there. So I wouldn't buy puts yet. I wouldn't buy calls yet. This would be watch and wait and look for a better entry. As far as getting in on, if you're still looking to get in on on the challenge trade today with Win. We're looking to ride this thing up to the $50 range. Anywhere, I'm not sure where those options are trading right now, Joe, but anywhere within, I would say, a 20-cent radius, you're fine. We're expecting a pretty big move here. So I wouldn't be opposed to entering right in here. Okay, with Nucor, Jim. Yeah, I mean, this was one of my top three today. I love the setup. This looks to do another one of these bounces higher. Price target up here, I'd pin this up towards the $54 area. Is where I see this. I mean, the volumes are good. It's got a nice technical signal here today with everything showing lots of strength. I like the setup with Nucor. J&J. I'm way behind on these chats. Sorry, I'm way up the list. I'm not even seeing anything going in right now. Johnson & Johnson is still below the 7. I wouldn't get bullish on this thing unless I saw it come up here above the 7. Okay, if you're in calls on it, if you didn't happen to get out over here where it dropped below the 7, it's a tough call. It's trying to hold on to 94, but with it's below the 7, it's just kind of in no man's land at this point to see which way that's going to go right now. It's not really given much of an indication. Thanks, Smitty. Appreciate it. Target. Yeah, this is another one of those big runs down and one big day up. It's just too early to call anything. It's still below the 7. I wouldn't buy puts. I wouldn't buy calls. There's better signals out there. As far as, yeah, it's tough to tell, Matt, if this is a bottom or not. This has been the bottom in the past over here in October, a little bit higher than that in August. It's been the bottom, but one day out like that, it's just too early to call. It might be, but what you got to do is let it rally out of here and see if it starts to set a new high and a new low. That's what that first rounds of selling is going to probably tell you that. With Amazon, it's hanging on to the 7. It's right there onto the 7, just by the skin of its teeth. Well, we got 15 minutes left in the day. Holding on to the 7. If it stayed right here, I'd stay in. If it dropped up, if it gapped below the 7 tomorrow, I'd probably get out. You notice today it did gap below the 7, but has run higher, which is positive. A stronger candle for Amazon would be if it closed up here towards the highs. Right now, not a real strong candlestick, but it's still right there on the 7. And I've traded with people, a lot of people using the 7. Some people will think, it's a trading above the 7, I'll get out. It's trading below, it's just right on it. It's just a tough call when it's like right in the middle of the 7 like that. But I'd consider this just above the 7. Yeah, Jersey with SLV. Nice. It's got nice technical action today, but as far as this is the bottom and now the run, it's got some volume back in it, but it's just hard to say. It is. It's like USO yesterday. It was showing very similar, just jumping out like that. And there's reasons why they're jumping like this. It might run higher, but as far as technicals, it's tough to say is which way it's going to go. And that's me. I'm always looking at technicals. Okay, good, Mike. Good. In at 240. With typically right now, Jim, with Yahoo or NUE, I'd go 2 strikes in the money. December's. If you're looking at those, that's what I would do. You're a little bit more bang for your buck on there. You're risking a little bit more, but keep your stops. Remember. KRE. If now this, I'm not sure if you're bullish or bearish on this stock. It's below the 7. I wouldn't get bullish on it yet. Yet I wouldn't get bear. I wouldn't. This is one of those where it gapped down and it really hasn't come much off that bottom. It's holding 39. It's hard to say if it's going to bounce. Hard to say if it's going to fall down. There's just no real indications. It's just kind of out there in no man's land right now. Now you could say it's holding on to 39, but is that a real big level? Not necessarily. There's a little bit bigger one below 38.5. It's a tough call if it's going to jump up or come back at that point. It's just kind of out there. Terry, I'm glad to hear that you're still in Deere. The news today on Deere is extremely positive. Happened to come out. Why couldn't it come out yesterday? Anyways, the beauty of hindsight, right? Extremely positive news here. They added another 8 billion to their stock buyback program and a quarterly dividend. So just astronomical news. This could run higher. They start buying stock in here. This thing could run higher. I don't think I'd get out. The implied volatility spiked on this today, which helped out. They also had Kramer talking about it. I saw Motley Crue talking about it, both before it even made that announcement. So it's like all the stars lined up just right for Deere today, and off it went. I still think it could go higher. And I know Snippa was, and I appreciate your help there, Snippa, saying the same thing. Now, as far as MRO, it's pulling back here today. One thing that this has been doing that I just didn't like was these late day. You see how the stock would go up. I mean, every day, practically every day, the stock would go up and run lower and turn lower into the close. Just bled lower during the day. Didn't want that to keep happening. Did not want that to keep happening, to go up and sell off, go up and sell off. Yesterday it did the same thing, go up, started selling off. Just wanted out to put the money somewhere else. And then today it rallied with the market and it's holding it today. It's holding it, pretty good so far. If I was still in here, now it's back above the 7, I couldn't argue holding on to it. I couldn't. If it starts to run back below the 7, then I'd get out. Things, once you get out of a trade, if it looks to keep going, hey, it keeps going, and then let it run for a little bit, but don't let it go too far. But so far, that's pretty decent action. The volumes are big. The volumes are pretty big almost everywhere today on these giant turnarounds today. Apple, big old doji up here, but and this one, and then China Mobile, right? China Mobile, wow, this is earlier today. This was showing a dragonfly, but has since turned and run positive. So don't go anywhere if you're holding calls here. Stay in it till it closes inside the band. Even if that was a gravestone, I mean a dragonfly, which would be at a top, right? And a dragonfly towards the top, trying to draw here. The dragonfly towards the top kind of looks like that, right? Is bearish if it's towards the top. But the thing is, who cares about a dragonfly right in here, because these guys and Apple are in the works of doing a deal. If they do a deal, look out. I mean, who cares about a little dragonfly that's going to run? But the fact that this is running out of the dragonfly right at the last little bit here today is very bullish here. So, man, nice. If you're still in this, good job, you guys. Yeah, PW. We're looking to trade this much higher. So, and I'm way behind on chats. I'm sorry. I'm way back up in there. Yeah, when all that whole group's running. Now, the whole group, we've been watching him for such a long time. I mean, right, AK and Steve, and we've been watching these for a long, long time, looking for a breakout here. Just didn't see it. And today's action is very strong. The whole group. It's not a U.S. thing anymore. It's more of a big U.S. But Macau is just never been there. Not much of a gambling man when I go through Vegas and stuff. But Macau is, I've heard reports, 3 times the size of Vegas. 3 times the size. I mean and not only that, the profits from what I've seen coming through recently, the profits out of Macau are increasing at dramatic rates over there. So no, this is a big story. Okay, Martin, good. Yeah, you're still in some of those DE calls. Congratulations. Uh, PayX, yeah, makes my head hurt too. JC, I haven't looked at the news on it. It's got some volume, major turnaround today. I don't know if there's news. I don't know if it's just some profit taking way up in these ranges. Might have run up with the market and has pulled back. A pretty bearish action if you're asking me. It's closing below the 7. If I was bullish here, I'd get out. I'd like check for news, but it's below the 7. I'd get out. It's still right there holding on to 43.5. Sometimes those can be tough calls because it's just barely below and it's on support. But anyways, if you want to play it safe, get out and look for another opportunity where it runs back up, and it would still trigger a bull vibe entrance. So even if you had calls here, if you decided to get, I would not get bearish. No, no way. Beautiful uptrend here. But if it starts to run back up through the 44 mark tomorrow, you got a bull vibe entry. It could put you right back in. You'd be playing the safe side here on a stock like PayX. Would I enter Amazon? Again, I'm so far behind in chats. No, I wouldn't enter Amazon right here. The reason is because it's just right there in the 7. I would need a stronger push. You see this price action up here? You notice my top 3 don't have that upper price action for the most part. Now, yeah, we looked at, was it? I forget which one it was. I think it was Nucor. Okay, well, this is a different story from Nucor, right? Down, and you can see what it's done every time it's made these bounces. It's just typical price action, right? We go back over here, these big old days down here, it kind of came down fast and furious. And really, where it's sitting on the 7, this might give you an opportunity for a little bit safer entry come tomorrow, as it's pushing up off the 7, pushing up through 390, and working its way to 400. So I think it would give you a chance tomorrow if you want it, if you're looking at anything here on Amazon. Yeah, Martin. No, I'd agree. I'm way behind. MRO at this point, when it rallied today, based on everything else rallying, I think, well, it's another day, and it started bleeding off in the afternoon. It was all the way down here just above 36.5 for a while, and I thought those slow bleeds, it just drove me nuts when we were in that trade. Those slow bleeds like that. But today's price action pushing up through the 7 like that, it changed things. Yesterday, I didn't like it. Didn't want to stick around on it anymore. Didn't want to take a chance at this pushing back below the 7 like that. Just wanted to find a fresher entry. I think we found a good one. Okay. Target, yeah, I touched this one on a minute ago. Again, I'm so far behind, sorry. But Target, it's still below the 7. That one day up like that pushing off, it's hard to say if that's a bottom or not. It's just too early to tell. MJN calls. Watch it. Just watch this thing. Stay in it till it goes below the 7. We just try to keep things simple around here. If it keeps going higher and higher and higher, we'll just get out when it closes below the 7. Trying to find an example of that here. This is a nice little trend right here, but let's say you entered down here, close below the 7 up here, we'll get out up here. The thing I like about this price action, nice, slow, following the 7 like that, it's bullish action. It's not going up, not going up astronomically, but consistently going higher, and that's what you're after. So it's bullish action. I just watch it close below the 7, get out. Calls on now, not yet. It's got to break that 7. It's got to be a little bit more convincing to me than where it's at right now. It's just right on the 7. Likely this could give you an opportunity tomorrow, as it's maybe pushing up to 54, pushing up off the 7. But right here, right now, it's a little bit early for me to go with calls on service now. Thanks, Jay. I like that comment. I'm not too far behind, but by the time I read it, I might know what the future holds. All right, I think I'm caught up here. So we jumped into win calls. Now it's right here. It's down at 165. It's still a very good looking signal. A little bit of price movement right here. I'm not concerned about it. A little bit of a drop right there. This little very big, very strong candle here. Bull vibe entry. You got good volumes. I love the setup. We're going to ride this thing up to the 170 range. Heck, let's go to 180. No, just kidding. 170. Okay, you guys, I'm hop off here. If you have any, well, I'm going to hop off here. If you have any questions, you can reach me through, nice, Mike, good. You can reach me through email as well if you like, carl@traderminute.com. I'm going to hop off chat for the night, but everybody have a great night. We'll talk to you again tomorrow. Okay, take care, everybody. Bye-bye.